In every single one of our homes, there's an unseen battle being fought day in and day out. It's the war your HVAC system wages just to keep you comfortable. And in a really demanding climate, this machine isn't just a luxury, it's your home's frontline defense. Today, we're going to go behind the scenes of that fight. Oh man, you know that sinking feeling, right? That sudden, awful silence on a blazing hot summer day, or that chill that starts to creep in on a freezing winter night. This quote just nails it. Your comfort system couldn't care less about business hours. Breakdowns always happen on their schedule, never on yours. So what is it about the DC climate in particular that is just so punishing? To really understand why these systems fail, we have to first understand the enemy. And in this case, the enemy is the weather itself. Right, we're calling this a year-round assault for a very good reason. See, in the DC area, your HVAC system, it never really gets a break. It is constantly fighting a war on two fronts, the absolutely brutal summer heat and, of course, the biting winter cold. Just look at this two-front war. In the summer, it's not just about the heat, it's that oppressive, soupy humidity that forces your AC to fight moisture just as much as it's fighting the temperature. Then, boom, winter rolls in with this brutal siege of freezing temperatures. That constant cycle of freezing and thawing puts unbelievable stress on all the metal parts, causing them to expand and contract over and over and over again. And you'd think, maybe, just maybe, spring and fall would offer a bit of a ceasefire, right? Nope. Not here. The DC area's wild temperature swings, 75 one day and 45 the next, force your system to constantly slam back and forth between heating and cooling. There is simply no off-season. And all that relentless work, that leads directly to breakdowns. So all that stress has to go somewhere, and it leads to some very predictable breakdowns. The good news here, if there is any, is that for experienced technicians, these failures aren't a surprise. They're the known, predictable ways the battle is lost after that year-round war we just talked about. Yeah, see, these failures aren't just random accidents. They're direct results of the climate. All that summer humidity, it literally corrodes the coils, causing refrigerant to leak out. The constant moisture removal also means condensate drains get clogged with all sorts of gunk and algae. Inadequate airflow happens because filters get overwhelmed and older ductwork just can't keep up. And that winter siege, well, that leads to the most serious failure of all. And this is where we shift from comfort to safety. That constant stress from the winter freeze-thaw cycles can cause tiny microscopic cracks in your furnace's heat exchanger. When that happens, silent, odorless, and deadly carbon monoxide can leak directly into the air you and your family are breathing. This is an absolutely critical failure that needs immediate attention. No joke. So when a major failure like that happens, you're suddenly faced with one of the toughest decisions a homeowner has to make. Do you keep sinking money into repairing an old, aging soldier? Or is it finally time to bring in a new, more reliable recruit? It's a tough call. Okay, here is a fantastic tool to take the emotion out of it. It's called the $5,000 rule. Let's run a quick example. Say you've got a $600 repair on a system that's 12 years old. You multiply those two numbers and you get $7,200. Since that's over $5,000, the rule suggests that replacement is probably the smarter, long-term financial move. It's a really simple way to approach a super complex problem. And here's another key number to just burn into your brain, 15. An HVAC system is not a lifetime purchase. After 15 years of battling the DC climate, it's usually at the end of its effective service life. Honestly, trying to repair a unit older than that is often just delaying the inevitable and throwing good money after bad. Okay, so whether you decide to repair or replace, you're gonna need a professional. But what does a truly professional service experience actually look like? Let's set a clear benchmark so you know exactly what you should be looking for. Look, the process should be this simple and this transparent. First, a thorough diagnosis to find the real root cause, not just a symptom. Second, and this is absolutely crucial, you get an upfront price, in writing, that you have to approve before any work begins. No surprises. Finally, they test their work to make sure it's fixed, and they back it up with a solid warranty. And these are the telltale signs of a real pro. They give you that transparent pricing and solid warranties. They respect your home. They use shoe covers, they clean up after themselves. And pay close attention to this one, a high first visit fix rate. That means they come prepared, they have the parts, and the know-how to solve the problem right then and there. All right, to wrap things up, let's arm you with a few simple but really powerful rules for being a smart homeowner. Knowing these can help protect your investment. save you money, and avoid a lot of unnecessary stress on your system. First up, the 3-minute rule for your air conditioner. If the power blips or you turn it off by mistake, just wait 3 full minutes before you turn it back on. This lets the pressure inside equalize, and it protects the compressor, the heart of the system, from a burnout, which is one of the most expensive repairs you can possibly have. Next, you've got to remember the 15 to 20 degree rule. Your AC isn't a magic icebox. It's designed to create about a 15 to 20 degree temperature difference from the outside. So if it's 100 degrees out there, your system can realistically get your home down to about 80. Trying to force it to 70 will just make it run constantly and cause extreme wear and tear. It's about working with your system, not against it. So we've seen the battlefield. We've identified the most common ways the battle is lost, and we've learned the strategies for fighting back. That unseen battle, it is happening in your home right now. The only question left is your system ready for the fight?